Greetings and welcome back, blade lovers, blade fans, one and all, to OG Blade Reviews. That's me. Formerly This Old Sword. Got to keep saying that. Some of you are still surprised. I'm the same guy. I am. Different name, same guy. Got to evolve. So here we are. You may recall that not that long ago, I introduced you to a new knife brand called Tenable. And this is the Tenable Nestreet, a design by Kansept maker, apparently a fairly well-known designer of knives. So Nestreet is that one, and Tenable is the new budget class knife from Kansept. Very simple packaging. The knife comes in some bubble wrap, and we'll put it out there and talk about it in a moment. There's some QR codes for you for the new company, Tenable, and it's tenableknives.com. I'll make sure that you have that link. And they've got a nice, warranty. What is Tenable? We'll do something about the genesis of the company and why they came to be. As we know, Civivi, We has Civivi and Sencut, and Artisan has CJRB, and so forth. And now Kansept has Tenable. So this one is called the Prometheus, and it's by a designer, D.O.C.K, with a period after each. Don't know much about that designer or whether it is a design firm, but it's D.O.C.K, and I think it's on here. There you go. D.O.C, right there. There is the logo, looks like a D. And the Prometheus, there's the name right there, comes in a few different handle colors and blade finishes. It is from 14C28N, as was the Nestreet. And what we've got here is kind of, I would call it a sheep's foot blade, because we have a fairly abrupt downturn of the blade and a fairly straight edge, although it's got just a little bit of a belly. It is a dark stonewash finish. This particular model has black G10 with a red underlay. It's kind of a two-layer. We've got a red pivot surround, and it is a exposed liner lock. It's a back flipper, and that's it. Pretty straightforward. You see we have a titanium clip here. I'm pretty sure it's titanium. Yep, that's titanium. And that is the extent of the high-class materials on this knife, because it is a budget knife. And I think it is going for somewhere, once you're done with all your discounts and your street prices and so forth, in the $50 range. I will make sure you have links so you have the exact amounts. And I'll give you a link to both the Tenable Knives website, as well as, I believe White Mountain is carrying these now as well. So if you do shop at White Mountain, you can get a 10% discount off there with Old Sword or OG-Blade as your discount codes. However, if you shop at Tenable, if you simply use, I believe, the discount code OG10 at Tenable Knives, will get you 10% off. There you go. So it's a medium-sized knife. Got a little bit left over in my medium-large hand. A lot of medium-large going on here. And you can sneak your finger in there sideways in that choil, which acts as both kind of a finger choil on the front guard there, and a sharpening choil. So as a sharpening choil, you've got lots of room for sharpening there over time. And it does appear to be a fairly good edge. Let's test it out. Well, yeah, not bad, not bad. Now the trick with cutting paper is to draw the blade and not just push it through. If it's extremely sharp, you can sort of push it through, and that in itself is a cutting test. As I said, a couple other variants of this available. It is on bearings, I'm pretty sure. Not exactly drop shutty, but smooth. And you can always play with the pivot and loosen and tighten it until it is where you want it to be, or simply use the knife and allow it to break in. Some quick measurements. We've got an overall of 7.6 inches and a cutting edge of 3 inches with a 3 1/4 overall blade length. Thickness in millimeters of the steel is 3.4 or 0.13. And we have a handle thickness, make sure I stay off the clip there, of exactly 1/2 inch. Interesting how that works out sometimes. We sort of, as knife collectors and users, I believe we use 1/2 inch as kind of the golden standard for thicknesses of the handle. In terms of weight, it is 3.74 ounces. So a light knife. And we always get to the question, does it have weight relieving because of that light weight? It indeed does have a lot of skeletonization going on those liners. Liners are blackened as well to match the handle and to match the blade. And we've got a balance point right about there. No jimping, but we do have a large swale on the back of the blade for the thumb. Feels pretty good in the hand. I mean, it's a fairly neutral handle when you look at it. It's straight across here. You've got your stop there, acts as kind of a guard. Got sort of a like a locust tail, bug tail kind of organic sweep there. That, interestingly, sort of matches what you've got going on here. And interesting little bump there that matches the swale to the downturn of the sheep's foot blade. And some of you may disagree, may not call it a sheep's foot blade, but what I find is how many knife designs are out there now and have come out in the last, let's say, 5 years, 10 years? And then what are the several different blade shapes that you see on some of the sheets that tell you what blade style a knife is? I think we got way more variants and new designs than we ever had traditional so-called knife designs. So, if it doesn't fit into sheep's foot or Wharncliffe and it's somewhere in between, you can call it one or the other, or you can give it the name that you choose. So I don't think naming and categorization is really a thing that we're not going to stumble on in this day and age, just because of the number of designs out there. And also, who copies whom? That's difficult to determine as well. I think every knife designer and maker is influenced by the next. And they see each other's knives. They grab ideas from those knives. And in very, very few cases, unless it's a clone knife, where they're copying it exactly and even putting some of the markings on it, like with Microtech clones, they look exactly like a Microtech knife, except they're usually made in China and lesser materials and cheap labor and, not going to uphold to the same standard. So we got a good thick blade stock here, as I mentioned. I think they hold the sharpness or the dimensions right out to the point pretty well. It's difficult to see because of the black on black there, but you got a fine point. I mean, you can certainly use it only at about a 45-degree angle there to get, your work done, to use that point. Well, a few compares here. Since I usually have the rat 1 off on the side, we'll put that in the picture. And rat 1 is going to be about 1.5 inches longer overall, and about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch longer blade. Stacked up against the Nest Street, Tenable Nest Street, same new company. We've got the Nest Street coming in at least 1 inch longer, maybe a little longer than that. And it's a button lock as opposed to a liner lock. And it's got about a 1/2 inch longer blade. I happen to like the Nest Street quite a bit. This fellow here is lighter, a little bit less, I should say, to carry around with you. Does not have the folded over deep carry clip of the Nest Street. And that clip, by the way, is not transferable to the left side, nor is this one. So these are right hand tip up dedicated knives. And that is about it for this fellow, the Prometheus by Tenable Knives. Check out their website, and these are the only 2 models at this recording that are available. I'm sure there's going to be more as they develop this particular product line. Don't forget to give this vid a like and subscribe. I will be back with you soon. Be well.